Okay, the moment of truth. If I can open
What
it.
have you got there, Ivan?
Matthew's maple syrup, eh? World famous in Canada.
Ooh.
Ooh, buddy.
Pour that stuff out.
Oop.
It just feels like I'm home again.
This is what you guys eat, right?
Yeah. This is what you put in your IV if you go to the hospital.
Yeah.
You just get shot back awake.
Oh, how's the pancake?
Welcome back to the Seychelles,
I just peed off this rock.
where the female energy on our boat has just doubled thanks to the arrival of Hannah, fresh off the plane from Canada. Hannah is an active and easy house guest, and the teens are having a blast. Could this be the start of something? Hannah, take the wheel!
You got to do it without white knuckles. No white knuckles?
So why are we steering again, guys?
Bob is playing up.
Bob's an alcoholic.
Are you feeling confident, Hannah?
Maybe not confident is the word I'd use. I'm feeling focused.
Very good. You're doing a
Yeah.
good job.
Doing all the work?
Yeah. Pulling the shots.
Hi, my name is Hannah Janak. I am 16 years old and I've just flown in from Canada here in the Seychelles aboard the cruising Kiwis in the hopes that I would do a wonderful passage from here, the Seychelles, to hopefully Tanzania and get some passage days under my belt.
What do you think of it so far, Hannah?
This is very awesome. From before I was even born, I've always been raised in around boats. My parents have owned many boats over the years, and obviously that has rubbed off on me and what I would like to do in my future, as I would like to hopefully be a Coast Guard one day and own my own sailboat in the hopes of doing a circumnavigation solo around the world. The sailing experience that I have is about 1 year of sailing on a monohull in a lake. Very different conditions, very different climate, and I've just already fallen in love with the color of the water, the mountains here.
Well done,
Me
Hannah.
and Rob are the only ones who are grounding.
Well done.
I love whales. I feel like they're my spirit animal, so hopefully maybe see some whales and some sea life. But obviously a very different climate and experience than you would see in Canada. It is so beautiful that I am hesitant on booking my flight home.
Hello there, it's Declan. I am in Australia, Cairns to be specific. It's going good. I'm out on a walk with the puppies right now, and I'm using this stick as a microphone. We just went for a little swim in a creek about 20 meters over that way. So my hair's wet, they're wet, and they're picking up a lot of dirt out here on the ground. Oh well. I'm currently studying. I've been going to TAFE for a little over a month now, doing a 6-month course in something. I can't remember the name of it. It's like horticulture and ecosystem management. That's not the proper name. I can't remember the name. It always escapes me because it's such a long name. But anyway, from that course, I can get a job as a park ranger or a marine officer. Kind of like this guy here.
You have the right to remain silent, but anything you do say can and will be used, or may be used against you. So what does the caution?
Except I won't be that much of a hopefully. Just having a look around to see if I can use my expertise in plants to identify any. This one here behind me might be a small gardenia. We've just kind of started getting into identifying plants and leaves and trees and stuff.
How to recognize different types of trees from quite a long way away. The larch. The larch.
Eric, do you think you could recognize a larch tree? Don't know.
Anyway, that's what I'm up to. Keep watching the Cruising Kiwis.
Oh, that was really fun. That was my first ever snorkel in an ocean. Much different than a lake.
First in an ocean?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, first ever in an ocean because there's not really that much to see in a lake other than rocks and maybe sand. I saw 2 really big turtles, a bunch of little schools of fish, like little Dory and Nemo looking fish, and I got stung a little bit on the lip by a small jellyfish.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well, I saw a little shark go up and nibble on that flipper. Just teasing her. Just letting you go and just swam off it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No!
I didn't see any sharks.
One thing Hannah didn't want to see, she didn't want to see any sharks. There were actually sharks. Ivan saw 2, I saw 1.
I'm okay to live in oblivion.
But that was a pretty good dive, or snorkel. And it was quite exciting because for her first, it's not usually as rough as that. We were in up against the rocks and the waves were crashing against the rock, and it was like being in a washing machine. We were being moved around like this, just like that.
Like that, pretty much.
The being moved right now.
Yeah.
So that was not tame water to be swimming in, but it was full of activity. Yeah, that was nice.
It was a nice shot. I think I got a view, Hannah, with the turtle.
Yeah, he kept like turning around his little face. He was trying to like grab my flippers and grab.
Was he?
Yeah. He wanted to be friends.
He wanted to bite the camera.
He did want to bite the camera.
Did he? Oh, he was cute. Yeah. Look at this. What is going on there? The mock.
So with the arrival of Hannah, she didn't turn up empty-handed, I'm pleased to say. She turned up with this little thing here. This is something, since the beginning of time, since we've had this boat, I've wanted to replace our Traveller, because it had a major repair done on it before we bought the boat. This is 10 years ago. In several places I've tried to source them, and most recently was actually in Thailand and Malaysia, with no success. So Hannah, and her parents in particular, Kim and Derek, were able to source this for me. Oh my word. Look at that. Oh, I better not. Now, oh, gotta be careful not to let it go sliding off there, because all the bearings will go sliding off with it too. Oh, it's got a little tape there so it doesn't come off. But look at that, people of the free world. Whoo! Yeah, baby, yeah. So the trick with this is, is it going to fit? And of course the track is critical. The width is good. The width is good. That's the critical thing, because everything else comes from there. So yeah, pretty happy with that.
We could talk about the weather. We could talk about anything under the sun, long as we're together. Darling, I know I'm not the only one.
Which way do you reckon it is?
I have no idea. You choose.
We up anchored this morning from Lazio, and we're heading to another anchorage so that we can access Kiwis Island. The reason is we want to show Hannah the tortoises in particular in the wild. So we're waiting here for a weather window, and we thought while we do that we'll go and chase down some tortoises if we can catch up with them.
So we've finally made it out onto Kiwis Island, which is in the Marine National Park, and they've got lots of biodiversity here, but it's been very wet this morning, which is why the kids are wearing rain jackets. We've seen 0 tortoises. We must have walked.
Boardwalk anything in Seychelles.
What's that? Oh, the longest boardwalk. We've seen a lot of boardwalk because it's the longest boardwalk in the Seychelles. We've seen numerous crabs, lots of. Thanks to my skills learnt in Palanga, Fiji, I caught one. 0 tortoises. Well, there are some big old guys here. Oh, look! He's looking at you. It's partly thanks to the efforts of one of our viewers, Kathy, that there are giant tortoises roaming free on many islands in the Seychelles. Once upon a time, giant tortoises were present on most of the high islands of the Western Indian Ocean. Then humans arrived, and by 1840, these beautiful, docile, lumbering creatures were on the brink of extinction. Apparently they taste pretty good and were great fresh meat to load alive into passing trade ships. Suddenly, only a few tortoises remained, residing mainly on the Seychelles Aldabra Island. Jump forward 150 years to 1997, when thanks to an invitation from the Seychelles government, the Nature Protection Trust of Seychelles established a conservation project on Silhouette Island. The project leaders gathered an assortment of 12 male and female tortoises, brought them to the island, and by 2006, 175 new tortoises had been hatched. Our viewer Kathy joined this project, helping to raise the babies. Then, in 2010, when the Trust was preparing to release the juveniles to the wilds of Silhouette Island, a government company charged with developing the island deemed giant tortoises to be unsightly and messy, closed the project and gave the Trust 3 months to remove the tortoises from Silhouette. Luckily, other islands with strong conservation management agreed to take the tortoises, which were hastily redistributed. So now, in 2024, we have the likes of Kathy and her ilk to thank that there are a new generation of giant tortoises roaming in the Seychelles, and with their lifespan of over 150 years, they will outlive us all.
The tortoises here can go anywhere they want, but they choose to stay here, I guess. I didn't see any other ones coming across, so.
The guy said there was about 115 on the island, and then the oldest one was about 150, which is pretty old.
He was here in the Second World War.
It's pretty special. So nice to see the tortoises just roaming free and go where they want. Not that they move very much, very slow moving, but apparently they do wander over to the other side of the island where we came in on the dinghy. Slow and steady wins the race, as they say.
At the start I thought that they weren't going to like me because one just like poked its head in, and I went, no, I'm going to make a lot of friends here very quickly. Okay. Bye.
So we have the car, and I have attached some blocks. They're not new blocks, but they're blocks that will do the job, you know, cut your cloth kind of thing. Underneath here you'll see there's a whole lot of ball bearings. They need to be lubricated up nicely, and I've got some of this stuff here, One Drop. It's very expensive product, but apparently it's very good for conditioning these ball bearings, and apparently they don't attract dust or dirt, so it keeps it lubricated without grime attaching to it. These tracks work under load. If you imagine, they're designed not to be pushed down onto, they're designed to be pulled away on, if you know what I mean. So these are quite heavy, this whole thing's quite heavy, so I'm turning it upside down, so it's kind of under a bit of load, and spread the oil around that way. I'll do that a few times, and then we'll go and see if we can get this thing on. I'm going to start disassembling the existing car off the existing track now. We'll take the end cap off. So I have here is a spare piece of track. Honestly, the things spares you have to have, you buy a boat and then you have to buy another boat and spares, don't you? Slide on the end and we'll put the old car onto it. Because we're going to keep this as a spare, even though it's not an ideal spare. Ooh, whoops. Okay.
Perfect.
Ooh, drum roll. Holy, look at that. Oh my word, that's snug. Oh, that's snug as a rug. Woo! Listen to that. Oh, that is so much better. Okay, we'll give it a bit of a clean up all this track. We'll put that end cap back on. Get a bit of Tef gel.
And then Bob's your uncle and Charlie is your aunt.
These lines. Interesting story about these cars. As I say, they are designed to be under traction, being pulled away from the track or whatever they're sliding up and down on. Traction, right? They're not designed for compression. A really a terrible story about guys who rode the Indian Ocean, friends of mine actually, we still keep in contact. They had an advisor who said these things would be perfect for their sliding seats, which are on rails. And I thought, yeah, great idea. So they went ahead with it. About 4 or 5 days into their row, which took about 2 or 3 months, their sliding seats failed because they were under compression, not traction. They'd been pushed down on. And the bearings just gave out, smashed. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but it failed. And so they had no sliding seats, so they could not use the power of their leg drive to power themselves across the Indian Ocean, the most powerful set of muscles to propel you forward on a rowing boat. I don't know if you knew that, but there you go. So frustrating for those poor rowers. But they did make it across, just a little slower than planned. Little things, can go wrong, but you just kind of think, you don't realise can go wrong.